Man is on a quest to develop machines that read each other's thoughts. There have already been key breakthroughs, but how close are we to actual mind control?
Is it possible that hackers of the future could somehow manage to peek inside our own heads? Yes.
We'll uncover a machine that could soon read the mind of a terrorist before he attacks. A man who makes a telephone call just by thinking about it. People who say their thoughts are already being hacked by an outside force. This technology can empower the mind to do remarkable things.
Come here, I want to see you.
Or reprogram us to do things against our will. Believe it or not, as information passes through the brain, the electrical impulses between neurons can be heard. This is the actual sound of a brain neuron firing. So in a way, we can literally hear thoughts. But how do we translate those sounds so we know what the person is thinking? At Brown University, they are working with tiny computer chips that can be implanted into the brain to transmit neuron impulses to a computer for mind-reading interpretation. It's like connecting your iPod to a computer and downloading music. Scientists can now connect your brain to a computer. Their goal is to help the mentally impaired.
So this is the next generation sensor system.
Dr. John Donahue is director of the Institute for Brain Science at Brown University. He's developed a remarkable piece of technology that can hardwire our brain to a computer.
It consists of the same electrode array, the baby aspirin-sized 100 electrode array that goes into just the surface of the brain.
This tiny chip monitors 100 different neurons as they fire. The firing pattern is displayed on this grid.
These spikes, these electrical impulses that come up. We know that's a language of the brain, a rapid communication system for the brain.
What if there was a machine that could crack this code and interpret what these spikes mean? There is. It's called BrainGate, and it was developed by Dr. Donahue. The way it works is that the tiny chip he's holding in his hand can be implanted in a person's brain. The chip picks up electrical impulses, which specially designed software then interprets as the actions a person wants to perform. Essentially, the chip can read a person's thoughts, much like a computer can recognize a voice and interpret what it is saying.
Some sick and sadistic scientists have wired up a monkey with a neural interface again. A neural interface is wiring a computer directly into the brain tissue, this time allowing the monkey to control the body of another monkey. Just simply by thinking, they have linked up the two bodies through the neural interface. And I say they've done it again because they've been wiring up or torturing monkeys with neural interfaces for quite some time, such as this monkey, which has his brain connected to a computer that then operates a mechanical arm. Oh, I'm sure the monkeys have such a good time. Take a look at this guy having such a great fun time getting tested with these neural interfaces, having his skull cap drilled off and, just computers plugged into his brain. This guy looks like he's having a fun time too. This science is just so fun for these monkeys. We should just continue it. Of course, I'm being sarcastic, and this is going to ultimately lead to a Mark of the Beast type of a situation, just straight out of the Matrix here, where you can see this character has, that's Neo with a neural interface plugged in the back of his mind, which they are planning to do. Oh, they're just planning on researching to help people who are paralyzed, you say. Oh, that's what they're doing. Well, I guess you just missed this article in Computer World back in 2009, where Intel is just predicting that computer chips in your brain will control computers by 2020, and they just want to let you surf the internet that way. CNN has posted an article. This nice little child with a Google Glass on his face. Google Glass is really just one step away from a neural interface. Other systems are in the works. Motorola has a patent for an HMD, which is a head-mounted display. There's a new one called ISIS, spelled a little differently, but still named after the Illuminati goddess, which is the same type of a thing. In the past, this individual, who has since passed away, Matthew Nagel, has been equipped with the BrainGate. Very interesting term for the future mark of the beast. Just, gateway into your brain. Just physically turning your body, mind, and soul over to the satanic Luciferian system. This is a government white paper published back in 1996 titled Information Operations, a New War-Fighting Capability. So you can't tell me that this kind of technology is only being designed to help people who are paralyzed. Your trusted Department of Defense, the DOD, the Department of Demons, have literally, where is that again? Have planned essentially to plug in your chips into soldiers' brains and to the public. If you just do a search for brain chip in this document, you will come up with a section here about the microscopic chip. Oh, the microscopic chip it performs two functions. First, it links the individual with the IIC, creating a seamless interface between it and the user for information sources, in-time collection of data, and archival databases. In essence, the chip relays powerful processes from the IIC to the user. Second, the chip creates a computer-generated mental visualization upon the user's request. You might have seen the television show Intelligence. That's one of CBS's most popular shows, which is about this exact type of device. They do talk about the ethical and public relation issues here, but just wait until you hear what they have to say about this. Implanting things in people raises ethical and public relations issues. While these concerns may be founded on today's thinking, in 2025 they may not be as alarming. We're already evolving towards technology implanting. For example, the military currently requires its members to receive mandatory injections of biological organisms. In the civilian world, people receive mechanical hearts and organisms. Society has come to accept most of these implants as a fact of life.
In its never-ending quest to gain superiority on the battlefield, DARPA has a new tool: the minds of human soldiers. DARPA is expanding beyond weapons and robotics into brain mapping for the use of artificial neural networks via implantation of electronic neural circuitry directly into human brain tissue. Although military publications such as Defense One recently stated that DARPA is not ready for the testing phase of this technology, a paper recently released regarding DARPA's RAM program says otherwise. Obama's BRAIN initiative dovetails right into DARPA's goals and vice versa. DARPA's RAM program, as presented, is wetware technology.
Well, we're thinking of a whole variety of options for how you could do better at authentication. So you can start with nearer-term things like tokens or fobs that might have NFC or Bluetooth embedded in them. But you can also think about a means of authentication that you could simply wear on your skin every day for a week at a time, say an electronic tattoo. Now, we're talking about wearables. Everybody's interested in wearables. I'm profoundly interested in wearables. And what I will tell you is that there are we've made a lot of advances in wearables, but there's still some fundamental problems that we haven't solved. Like one of them is the mechanical mismatch between humans and electronics, right? So electronics are boxy and rigid, humans are curvy and soft. That's a mechanical mismatch problem. Well, a researcher at the University of Illinois, his name is Dr. Rogers, what he discovered is that he could use standard CMOS techniques to make islands of high-performance silicon connected by accordion-like structures that would allow it to stretch up to 200% and still be performing. And what he did is he founded a company, and they started making electronic tattoos. So I'm wearing one here on my arm.
Do we have a camera to get a...
This is a developmental system made by MC10, and it has an antenna and some sensors embedded in it. And what we plan to do is work with them to advance a tattoo that could be used for authentication. Now, it may be true that 10 to 20-year-olds don't want to wear a watch on their wrist, but you can be sure that they'll be far more interested in wearing an electronic tattoo, if only to piss off their parents. Right?
And that can have a design, right? Because
Sure.
they would certainly want some kind of cool design.
Options,
right?
options. And that's something that you wear, but you could also imagine including authentication in just your daily habits. So I take a vitamin every morning. What if I could take vitamin authentication?
What?
Vitamin authentication. Look, I have one right here. Well, here, I'll let you hold it. Would you like to hold it?
I'll hold it.
Okay. So this,
You guys see it?
this pill has a small chip inside of it with a switch. It also has what amounts to an inside-out potato battery. When
Really
you
small.
swallow it, the acids in your stomach serve as the electrolyte,
That's what I do.
and they power it up, and the switch goes on and off. And it creates an 18-bit ECG-like signal in your body, and essentially your entire body becomes your authentication token. Yes, this is true. Okay?
Okay, but
Okay, so wait. So it's really true. So what this means is that that becomes my first superpower. I really want this superpower. It means that my arms are like wires, my hands are like alligator clips. When I touch my phone, my computer, my door, my car, I'm authenticated in. First superpower. Like, I want that.
So we're not shipping that right away.
Yeah, no. We're not shipping that right away. But it
but
sounds like...
this is FDA cleared?
So here's the thing. This is not science fiction. This pill was actually made by a company called Proteus, and they've developed it for medical applications. That pill has been CE stamped and cleared by the FDA. You can take 30 of those per day for the rest of your life.
And then what happens? Does your heart
Nothing.
beat change? Does your
We can just tell that
Do you-
you've taken the pill. I mean, the medical
Yeah.
the medical
Does
application
Google
is-
now know everything I do and everywhere I go? Because let's face it,
Here, can
we
we
like
just-
you guys, but you're from Google.
Just give him some water and let him take
So-
that
so
pill
I-
right now.
Thanks.
Maybe Dennis, let me ask you, does Larry make you take one of these?